Toes has returned to the battlefield to do battle with Xaryu, the battle mage. What do you think, Healing Stat? What does Toes have to do here to get a victory?
Well, the TLDR for Toes at the start of this one's just going to be surviving. Again, for Xaryu, he's got to play a very aggressive game here, try push for that first win. He can go for resets if he feels like he's going to win the duel on mana as well. So there are a couple of different ways Xaryu can win it, but ultimately it's about committing all of those mage cooldowns, going for the best of one sort of strategy of just, hey, I only really care about this first duel for now, so he'll be willing to commit everything to it to see if he can do it though, because at the start of this duel, Toes gets the shield off. It doesn't look like Xaryu even really went for a clean sheep setup here. He's just going flat out damage. He is doing a fair bit to Toes, dropping low at about 50% health already, but it looks like Xaryu isn't quite able to find the kill as he's dropping so low on mana.
Toes popping the Whipper root just to stay alive there, but as you said, doesn't matter too much. Xaryu's almost completely in this duel. We'll see if he goes for the Dark Rune play. He's probably going to go for the Mana Gem, which he uses right there. Fear breaks early from Xaryu, and there's the Scorches to finish it off, and he's going to take Toes down.
Really impressive. Dude, Xaryu has been so impressive, literally on fire today as he finds the Scorches to take down Toes. That is another massive win there on the Mage against the Shadow Priest. And to be honest, Xaryu actually saved a lot of cooldowns. I think he might have used his Evocation at one point in that duel, but he still has at least one Ice Block. So really, really nicely played from Xaryu. If he can take a 2-0 against Shadow Priest, that's literally unprecedented for these mages.
We talked about the way he used AGM to bait out Matt in the first duel. I think he used his Furbolg Medicine Pouch to bait out Toes in this duel, getting low and tricking Toes into thinking he was going to be able to finish it off, but that Medicine Pouch keeping Xaryu afloat. He was so tanky there towards the end. He got 1,000 heal over time there, and that got him the victory, and we'll see if we'll get him the second victory here. Furbolg Medicine Pouch, a 10-minute cooldown, however, I believe. So he does swap over to the Celestial Orb. He did not use his Shadow Reflector, and he did not use his Barrow Peasant Collar. Both of them are equipped here and now. Meanwhile, Toes opting to go for something a little bit more aggressive as he swaps over to the Talisman of Ephemeral Power. Increases damage and healing done by 175 for 15 seconds. We'll see if that extra damage helps him here in the second duel.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm very jealous of all the priests that have the talisman, because that item is certainly in my guild. It's not one that priests are allowed to roll on, but I know that both Toes and Seren have it, and it can be a game changer. It's just such a huge amount of spell power on such a short cooldown, so you can have it for every duel. But we're going to see how this one opens up here. Xaryu with a quick opener. Toes actually using the Goblin Rocket Boots once again here to max range the Mage. Very smart strategy coming in from the priest. But Xaryu once again blinks in, is able to get on top of him, gets caught up in a silence. Actually going to use his Ice Block on that as he continues to push the onslaught here on Toes.
I love the adjustment there by Toes, understanding Xaryu's strategy of just charging in and going full battle mage. He kept his distance there with the rocket boots and kept Xaryu as bay, but now Xaryu is back into range. He gets the improved counterspell onto Toes, and he's going full aggro once again. No, there's the mana gem. There's the mana coming in the clutch for Xaryu, but now he's completely with those mana burns coming out from Toes, and Xaryu is in trouble. Goes for the sheep reset. Does he get it? He does. Going for the evocation. Has to Ice Block off the dots and break the evocation early. Little bit of a misplay there by Xaryu, but whatever the case, he is going to be able to reset here at the rim of the duel line. Drops to eat and drink. Toes, however, out of that polymorph. He's going for the server ticks. He's trying to regen back up as he runs back towards Xaryu, who whiffs the grenade, but Xaryu is in big trouble here. Blackout proc interrupting his polymorph. He's in huge second blackout proc as well. Shadow Orb pain ticking. Xaryu going for the mana shield to save himself, but it's not going to be enough, and he does go down.
Play, and he has still been dueling Sam-Am a lot in practice. Sam-Am's been obviously helping him out. Great teammate, great friend of Cdew's. It is a tough matchup for the Shaman, though. I do think it's slightly mage favored. There's a couple of ways Xaryu can win it. He can either go for bam resets, try win the duel on mana, or he can go for an all-in with things like the nade and the counter spell. So let's see how this one does play out. A shock from Cdew, but it's a little bit late, meaning that the polymorph does connect. Xaryu has full mana here, and this could be a great opportunity for him to go for one of his patented all-in aggression moments that we've seen him succeed with so many times today.
I love how Xaryu just has the awareness to take out the Searing Totem so he can drop combat, but it looks like it's not going to be enough time for him. Use the time instead to bandage back up a couple of times. That Frostbolt is resisted by Cdew. Is he going with the Frost resistance set? He might. We'll see later on after the duel. We'll give a quick inspect on him, but in the meantime, the Barov Peasants harassing Cdew as Xaryu casts those Frostbolts. It's reflected. That was a max rank Frostbolt reflected onto Xaryu. He gets the Frost Nova off, however, and the Cone of Cold, so Cdew able to just stand there and free cast Lesser Healing Wave as Xaryu makes quick work of the Grounding Totem and goes back hard onto Cdew. Zaryu's got to be very careful with the mana game here. He knows he can run out of mana against this Shaman, who's able to heal back up. That's the power of hybrids as Cdew lumbers along the battlefield, drops the Grounding Totem, and takes the first 8 ticks. That's almost a full bandage duration for Cdew, who's polymorphed back up Xaryu, understanding that he has to reset. He has to be careful here. A Shaman at full HP and the mana advantage is very dangerous for a Mage who's going to take the time to eat and drink.
Yeah, and this isn't actually too bad for Xaryu either. He did use his Barovs, which is a 10-minute cooldown, but he can always swap his trinkets. Since he's a mage, whenever he drops combat, he can just swap between trinkets. It's one of the big advantages that mages do have in these duels, and he's able to actually sit down, get a good reset there. And Cdew, meanwhile, since he was sitting in sheeps, isn't able to restore that mana. So he's down to 2.6k, half mana right now for the Shaman, and if he can just keep kiting like this, I feel like this is where the Mage really excels. If Cdew gets connection, he's going to get really good damage on Xaryu, but right now Zaryu's just playing it so methodically smooth. If he can just keep kiting like this, it's going to be tough for Cdew to break into the duel.
See if he's able to get into melee range of Xaryu and get lucky with a nice Wind Fury proc. He gets the Earthbind Totem down, so Xaryu is slowed up, but a huge Cone of Cold Fire Blast coming up from Xaryu into the Frost Nova. Cdew forced to heal back up as Xaryu uses that time to get some more distance, charges up a big Frost Bolt, and takes Cdew down.
Absolutely insane. He makes the matchup look super easy there. Xaryu literally didn't get touched once by Cdew, and he didn't even really need to go for mana resets. He just kept staying max range, going for those Frostbolt snares and dealing damage, and ultimately, you know, Cdew isn't a Resto Shaman, he is enhancement, so at the end of the day, those heals are going to be quite inefficient. He doesn't have many talents buffering those heals and making them stronger, so he had to spend so much time standing still, eventually just ran out of mana, and that's a strategy that I haven't really seen from Mage into enhancement so far. Typically, they go for a lot more resets and then hard all-ins. Maybe Cdew wasn't prepared for it because Xaryu just seemed to simply out-mana him and win that way.
He's insane. Zaryu's insane. I love watching this guy. We're not supposed to pick favorites as casters, but he's so fun to watch on that Mage, and he can play things in such a diverse way. I mean, he'll go all in, he'll go super hard, he'll go for the big plays, the battle Mage plays, but then he'll also be disciplined enough to keep his distance against Cdew's Hand of Ragnaros. Great awareness there by Xaryu, as we're going to get ready to queue up our match recap for you guys. But in the meantime, we still have one more duel between these two competitors. Cdew versus Xaryu, Shaman versus Mage. Cdew doing his best to claw back into the competition. He's had a rough start to today, day 2 of the CDL regular season, but he's made somewhat of a comeback with his last couple of duels. We'll see if he's able to secure a victory here against Xaryu and officially tie Zane at 3 wins for the #1 spot for the Shaman. Shaman have just had it so rough so far in the tournament healings.
Yeah, they certainly have, and this is actually a really interesting opener from Xaryu. He's committing his invisibility cloak from the Gnomish invisibility, so let's see how this starts out. It's going to give him a little bit of distance. He gets the Grounding Totem from Cdew, and he gets the Polymorph, so this is a very clean start for Xaryu. As you said, Tips, Shamans have been struggling so far. Zane with 3 wins out of 14 yesterday. Cdew, I believe he's so far at 2 out of 11, so also struggling a little bit on that front. We see the Grounding Totem. The sheep actually broke a little bit early, though. It's exactly what Cdew wants. Xaryu still has every single major cooldown. He has both his Icebox, he has his Evocation. Didn't have to trade out anything in the first duel against Cdew, so Cdew's going to have to play a really good duel here if he does want to tie Zane and get that 3rd win.
We'll see if he's able to do so. Cdew once again getting kited by this Frost Mage. Does he use a Goblin Rocket Boots? Does he use any kind of closer? He used his nifty stopwatch recently, but it should be off cooldown. Not sure if it's a worthwhile trinket for him to use here. Looks like he's going to opt out of that and instead go for something a little bit more tried and true. Gets the grenade off. He's going to close this gap. No, he is not. That's a Frost Resist Totem dropped by Cdew. He's trying to get back in range, and he resists a couple of Frost abilities. He gets the Frost Shock off. Xaryu forced to blink away. The nade, the Goblin Mortar, it gets resisted by Xaryu. So Cdew, unfortunately, was so close to closing that gap. Unable to do so. Great resist there by Xaryu. Definitely some 5-head plays getting that resist, appealing to the RNG gods. And there's Cdew using the Gnomish cloaking device there momentarily, but it's not going to matter. Blizzard comes down. The grenade comes down, and there's the Earth Shock by Cdew to try to follow up some damage there, try to interrupt whatever spell casting he can by Xaryu, but Xaryu is just the stutter step god. Look at the way he forces that Earth Shock out at the last second, just a little bit too late. Cdew unable to get the interrupts off, and as a result, he gets improved counterspell. Big max rank Frost Shock coming up from Xaryu, and he takes the match against Cdew 2-0.
To remove all of those snares. So we'll have to see what Xtox goes for here in this duel. Obviously, regardless of having potions, it is going to be an uphill battle for the warrior.
Gets immediately Frost Novas, but he closes back in with the Horned Viking Helm. Is Xaryu going to ice block this off? He does. So he understands what Xtox trying to do as he pops the free action potion, queues up the slam for big damage, interrupting the spellcast, just waiting for Xaryu to come off. He's not able to get the slam, but he is in range. He's going to have to interrupt this polymorph. If he can interrupt this polymorph, he can get a victory here. He's got the free action potion on, but look at the ice barrier and the mana shield. He gets the polymorph interrupt, but it's too little too late. The free action potion duration wears off for Xtox. He fires off a gun missile. Here comes the frost bolt into the fire blast. Xtox bandaging back up, but it's not going to matter. He intercepts back in. Xaryu blinks away. Xtox trying to get the distance here, but there's the rank 1 Frostbolt to keep him slowed. Unfortunate there from Xtox, but great presence of mind and cool and collected play from Xaryu, who's able to just tank up auto attacks from Xtox in the duration of his ice barrier, and by the time he needed to get the free action potion duration worn off. And now Xtox has got plenty of rage, but he doesn't have the distance. He gets the grenade out, but it can be easily blinked away by Xaryu if he so desires. Intimidating Shout, Will of the Forsaken, piercing Howl to slow him down. He tried to dodge the Frost over there. Xtox, great presence of mind there, but he didn't get the distance needed, and he does go down.
Yeah, that was painful to watch, I think, for Xtox there. It's really, really rough duel as soon as that free action potion is down. And I mean, for Xaryu, you've got to give him credit, right? Because it is a little bit intimidating having someone that you can't snare or slow running you down on that warrior, but he just played it perfectly. He timed it out, used the ice barrier, went for the ice block, then I think he probably snapped to get another ice barrier as well. And Xtox just simply couldn't do enough damage to break through all those shields. Obviously, you don't get rage on the shields as well, right? So it's going to mean that he's doing less damage overall. As soon as that free action potion expired, Xaryu just had complete control. So very nicely played by him. And I mean, it's such a rough one to watch. It's a slaughter.
I don't even think Xaryu used polymorph that entire duel either. that's
yeah,
the sad
I think
part.
he got kicked on it the only time he tried to cast it, yeah.
Yeah. It's just the feels bad, man, of the warrior class. We did see J-Law take out Venruki, or a match off of Venruki yesterday. We'll see if Xtox has similar luck here. He did burn his Horned Viking Helm in that previous duel, but I believe Xaryu only burned 1 ice block. So Xtox definitely has a mountain to climb here in front of him if he wants to get a win off of this mage. He hops over to the Ice Reflector. He's got the Gnomish Rocket Boots equipped. Doesn't go for the Spider Belt, interestingly enough. So he is going to be eating that Frost Nova, perhaps because he's going to go for the Resto Pot instead. Not entirely sure what he decides to do. He pops the free action potion almost immediately off of the bat on the duel, and it gets a big crit onto Xaryu. Polymorph.
Oh, wow.
The juke forcing Xaryu into the ice block, and you have the Timbermaw Defender all over Xaryu as well. Xaryu's just going to sit here and wait for this free action potion to wear off. But Xtox, does he get a big Mortal Strike crit? He does get a crit, breaks the ice barrier, breaks the mana shield. Xaryu blinking away desperately. Xtox does not have the rage to intercept. Does the polymorph get cast? It does not. Frost Nova resisted by the free action potion, interrupted the polymorph as Xtox. He has the advantage. He has the rage for an execute. Does he get one? No, he backs away, playing it conservatively, knows that he can get Frost over here at any second. No, it looks like the duel was fled.
Yeah, Xaryu actually fled out of the duel area there. I think he was just forced to kite so far, and he was in an impossible situation. Xtox definitely very, very nicely played from him. He got a huge chunk of damage, immediately crit off that first ice barrier, and from there, it was the whole momentum of the duel for Xaryu. He just couldn't get back into the fight. The ice block, he sat at full duration. Even after that, it was a perfect Frost Reflector actually from Xtox. before the Frost Nova, so I think he removed all the snares, and then he also resisted that Frost. This is really what all the players are playing for, and I mean, you can even look at it. Look at all the streams of the players. Oftentimes, they have their cameras off and everything. They're really taking this seriously because there's so much money, and hearts in the chat for Method for putting up that money as well.
Absolutely. A big shout out to Method here as we return to the stream. Xaryu versus Payo, a battle of these two titans, Rogue versus Mage, one of the most dynamic and visceral matchups in all of Classic WoW, as Xaryu gets the polymorph off onto Payo, who's not able to open at least the way he wanted to. A quick blink out from Xaryu there out of the cheap shot, and here it goes. It looks like he's firing up the big fireball into the rank 1 Frostbone. He gets the Frostbite proc. Unfortunate there for Payo, but Xaryu is singing and dancing right now as he gets the big Frostbolt crit as well to follow it up. Blizzard gets dropped preemptively, which breaks Payo out of stealth. Great preemptive great prediction on the Blizzard there by Xaryu. Payo has to burn his second Vanish and try to get back into range as quickly as he can, or is he going to go for the reset? He's got to be careful here. He gets the sap off. He's going to be able to reset this duel. But Payo now burning both Vanishes after that insane predict by Xaryu.
Yeah, I mean, this is two all-stars going at it, right? These guys have played absolutely insane the entire day, but Payo is not going to let Xaryu walk away. I really thought that was the perfect opener for Xaryu there, but Payo manages to find a way back into the duel. Now it's going to be the nade into the snares coming in from Xaryu. Doesn't go for the reset with the polymorph, rather focusing on damage. The Nova comes through, but Payo breaks out, ice barrier. Xaryu is still really far ahead in this duel. It's looked great for him so far. Kidney shot will be blinked, and now Payo is going to really struggle, I think, to find that reconnection. He goes for the Vanish play, but blizzarded immediately by Xaryu as he looks to win this first duel.
It looks like Xaryu has the huge advantage here. He gets gouged up, but he gets the Frost Nova off just in time. Ice blocks the second blind, gets another Frost Nova into the Cone of Cold, and Xaryu takes the first match between him and Payo, the Little of Course, who has been absolutely dominant today, but it's Xaryu that comes out on top. And look at him on the screen right now, so cold, so calculating, channeling his inner Frost Mage, and got the victory there.